services businesses are really hard. I mean, what I learned from that was, fundamentally a services business model was I was buying people and selling people. Okay, I was packaging them as a project. So I was saying it's $50,000 or whatever to this project, but I was really packaging people's time. So in a services business, you have to be really good at buying people at one price, selling them at another price, because that's really what you're doing. You're selling time. And you also have to be really good at managing utilization. So making sure that everyone's on chargeable time, because it's not like a work. If you don't sell your developer's time this morning, you've lost it forever. You can never sell it again. So all the time, making sure that everyone's chargeable. And we sold it, and it was a good business. It was cash rich, etc. But then I wanted to move into business. So that's when I then moved into BuzzSumo and a completely different type of business, which was Bill. But it became so much more scalable, and that was the potential of small product businesses, and where I think the internet gives it's a way to start a small business, because the internet gives you so much, really. So we could scale quite quickly. We could look like a big company and all those things. But the product business was just a completely different type of business. It was much more about marketing rather than sales, really. Relatively low value product. So we were just marketing. So people building brand awareness was really important in the product space. Whereas in the services business, really 20 or 30 big clients like BP and Vodafone and people like that would buy from us at reasonably, we would sell 100 through to 100 through 1,000. Whereas when you're selling a product at $99, as we was at BuzzSumo, and we need a lot of clients. So it was a very different type of business. So I was in the services and then a product business. But in both cases, they were small, what I call bootstrapped businesses. We didn't go and get investor money. We weren't looking. We were looking to grow. Relatively small company up to a 10, 20 million turnover, and then sell it. And that's been my approach, really, rather than not trying to build a huge business. I really love all the. You got to fly there. So those flies in Australia.
He's very pesky. He's very pesky, actually.
Very pesky. Yeah, he's very keen on you. But I mean, you guys are starting a business, but I say my approach has always been to bootstrap them. It's to be to an investor. We've invested with very little money, maybe $10,000-$20,000, all we had to get going with, really, sometimes less. But we started to build it, and I'm sort of quite unusual that I quite like small businesses to be profitable. So we were always profitable virtually from the first 6 months in to the business. Whereas a lot of the books that you read about growing a business, you get some money, you don't worry about profitability, you just scale, and profitability comes later. Of course, if you're bootstrapping, that doesn't work. So you need to build a business that's profitable quite early on. So I've always built relatively small businesses, but they've up to $10, $20 million, and we've sold them for sort of up to $20 a piece, which for me is great. I'm not trying to be a billionaire, but make reasonable money out of it. So it was a very different approach. So it was very much about bootstrapping the business.
Yep. So what was very interesting to hear you talking about too was you realized that the services business was going to be very hard to scale. So, and you used the word scalability, and that was the one thing that you learned by doing something that you realized was hard to scale, and went, okay, this is all about trading time for money in a sense, wasn't it really? So you're actually...
Exactly. So services businesses are good businesses. They're cash rich generally. You tend to be good cash flow on those businesses. But if I want to double the size of the business, I've really got to double the number of staff, because I'm selling staff time.
That's right.
There's a limit to how much you can charge per day for somebody. So, and it's great if you're Accenture and they do have tens of thousands of staff that they're selling. But then you've got to be good at say, recruiting staff, managing staff. And what I found out quite quickly was I love the technology. I love the brand building of a new business. And once you get it to a certain size, and once you're 20, 30 staff, your job becomes managing the business a lot more. And really, I'm really not so keen on managing large numbers of teams of staff, why they're not working so well, and all those sorts of things.